What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to 5 Minutes of CSGO episode 2, and let's just get straight into it. So in ECS North America week 1, Rogue came out winners versus Complexity in the grand final, and notably they beat Team Liquid in the first round of the elimination bracket, which is a pretty big upset. You do have to give them credit for that. They also beat Luminosity on the way to that grand final win. Now, Complexity, they did have a decent run themselves. They had a close series against E United, but in the end, they did beat NRG in their new iteration with Tarek in their lineup. Now, in the grand final, Complexity were dominant on Nuke, having a 10-round T-side, closing it out 16-11. And then on Overpass, Rogue brought it back, having a closely fought 16-13 map. Now, on the last map of Inferno, Rogue were winning 8-2, but then they did struggle a bit. But at 12-15, they recovered and pushed overtime, in the end winning 22-20. Now, in ECS Europe, we do see Astralis taking down NIP in the grand final, 2-0, taking them down 16-9 on Train and 16-1 on Inferno. Now, we also did see FaZe having a bit of a close game against VP. They managed to get through that in a 3-map series. Then they did fall to Ninjas in Pajamas, where NIP, they actually lost the first map 16-2, which was Inferno as well. Bit of a problem that we're starting to see for NIP. But in the end, NIP were able to win that in a 3-map series. Going back to the grand final between Astralis and NIP, we did see Ninjas in Pajamas. They actually got a good start on Train, going up 9-6 in their first half. But then they went onto the T side, and then Astralis had a dominant 10 rounds in a row over. But yeah, so we did see, Astralis turning the tide there, going onto their CT side, winning 10-0 on that half, completing that map 16-9, and then going over to Inferno. Astralis won 16-1. I mean, this is a pattern for NIP. On this map, they did lose to FaZe 16-2 as well. So, we do see there's some holes in their Inferno. But yes, that's just classical Astralis being as dominant as you'd expect them to be, but will they be able to keep this up? I mean, they look good so far, but when will they finally get broken? Now, our next topic here is the recent CSGO update with the org price change, going back to its original price of $3,300. Now, what we need to ask ourselves, was it the pros actually having to learn a new gun, or was it the price that made it attractive for them in the end? Because that's what we're going to get answered. Will it still get used? I don't know. Let's find that out, and we'll find that out in the next few weeks, really. And then obviously going into that further is the CSGO economy change, where basically now you don't get fully reset when you win a round and lose a round. You just go up a bracket each time you lose, you go down a bracket each time you win. It's just going to make some closer games. It's going to make it easier for teams to come back because there's not that full reset potential. And then in the WESG World Finals, the expected teams of G2, Fnatic, Made in Brazil, and Optic made it out of their groups. They all made it to the quarterfinals as well, with, most of them, as you expected, making it to the semifinals, being Fnatic and G2. But Made in Brazil got upset by Windego, which actually happens to be the team from Bulgaria that has upset this whole event. And they did take down AGO in the grand finals there. G2, Fnatic making it to the semis. Fnatic obviously beating Optic 2-0. And AGO taking down Fnatic. Windego taking down G2. And then in the end, Windego winning 2-1 in the grand final. Finally winning a decent event, beating some nice teams there. Now, our last topic of the day, which will always be a topic. So this is the invitation/qualifications of the last week. Now, first off, I want to go straight into IEM Sydney, as both Team Liquid and Mousesports have both been invited to that event. E United have also qualified for DreamHack Rio, as Sprout have been invited to Esperado something Esports. I cannot say it because I'm horrible at English. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a bit of roster shuffle as I'm gonna shuffle my chair forward here. But anyway, basically the roster changes, we're gonna get straight into it. Mouse Sports, they've got Carrigan, they've got Woxic, they've got Frozen, they've still got Robs and Chris J, but that's the trades there. I do have to be honest, I'm still a bit like confused about the change of getting rid of Oscar. I think Oscar was the carry of their team, but you know, if they didn't have the same views, that makes sense in a game like CSGO. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we get out of that lineup. But then on top of that, we do have NRG picking up Tarek. Obviously getting rid of Fugly, getting Tarek into the lineup. Pretty much everyone expected this, and it's going to be an interesting change for that squad there. So if you have made it this far, you have made it to the end of the video, be sure to click that like button, comment down feedback below, and be sure to discuss about the video as well. Also subscribing, clicking that notification bell, a playlist of this series as well. And I know this is over 5 minutes. 5 minutes is just the general concept of it. If you guys do want me to make a bigger, longer series, let me know as well. But thanks for coming and peace out, guys.